Tracy, we did an episode a while back where we talked about who we're looking for acceptance or who you're still looking to be proud of. And you said something really interesting. You felt that, and you correct me if I'm wrong, you felt that you received the person being proud, but you actually needed to receive it in a different way. And I remember us all going, wow, that's really interesting. So, do you remember talking about that? And can you expand on how or why you would need to receive it a different way for it to feel that you are satisfied with that person being proud of you?
I do remember that conversation. And yeah, I think that when somebody says something to you,
Hmm.
um, we receive that based on the information that is being said. So I mean, it was my dad that we were talking about, and I desperately just wanted my dad to simply say the words, "I'm really proud of you." That's all I wanted. He showed me that he actually felt that way in different ways. Like he would, praise me about my accomplishments or praise me about my job or things like that. Um, but I really wanted to hear those words. And I think it's like with anything, like I don't know if you guys have ever read the five love languages. Um, we we as humans need to we tend to deliver things or give things to people in the way that we want to receive them.
Mm,
The easiest way to explain that is like if you think about buying somebody a gift, okay? You buy somebody a gift because you like what it is that you're buying.
right.
You like it, and especially if it's somebody you don't really know that well, right? I mean, if somebody that you know, then it might be a little bit different. But if it's somebody you don't really know that well, and let's say you were buying a hostess gift because you were going to somebody's place for dinner, you buy based on what it is that you like and what it is that you would like to receive. Okay. And that's how we operate. We want to receive things based on what our needs are, what we require, how we want to hear something, how we want to receive something. And we all give it in exactly that same way. We give out our emotion, we give out our love, we show our appreciation, we show our pride, we show our whatever in the way we want to see it. So for
Mhm.
me, I have no problem turning around to my kiddo and going, "I am so proud of you," because that's what I want. That's how I want
Right.
to hear that, right? Um, but I think what's really interesting is to try to maybe understand what the other person who is trying to give you what it is that you need, what is it like? What's their language? How are they speaking to you with whatever it is that they're giving? Because it will be different. It
Hmm.
will be different. And we either have to have the ability to say, um, I appreciate your sentiment, but this is what I need, right? I need to hear the words or I need to hear whatever. Um, or decipher what it is that they are giving us, if I am making any sense at all.
Well, because I'm just saying, like, for your father, probably his whole life felt he had given you,
Yes,
had showed that he
yes,
was proud of you and had let you know. And it's, if anything, Tracy knows how proud I am of her, right?
yes,
Because that's,
yes,
it's, his language is that he did what he felt,
exactly,
acknowledged that.
exactly, exactly. But I didn't actually receive what I wanted to receive, which was the actual words. Now, the other flip side of that is I could have gone to my dad and said, "Listen, Dad, are you proud of me?
Yeah.
Like, I want you to say that you're proud of me if you're proud of me. But then am I putting words into his mouth? Am I forcing him to do something that he doesn't want to do? Or you know what I mean? Like, but I
Hmm.
could have gone to him and had a conversation to say, listen, I know this might sound crazy to you, but this is something that I really need for me. And have that conversation of him
And
being like,
he probably would have been very shocked and go, "Oh my God, I'm so proud of
yes,
you." And you would have heard it,
yes,
it would have been done.
yes, yeah, would have been done.
Oh,
Yeah,
there's that core
absolutely.
communication.
Hmm.
Well,
Hmm.
I have a little different of a question. Like you have said a couple times that he just never said the words, but you understood he was proud of you.
Hmm.
Why was it, to me, my question to myself, because I've struggled with that also, would be why is those words so important?
Because I struggle with ambiguity.
Okay.
Okay.
It's like I am now left up to interpret
Mm.
something that's not exactness, if that is the way to put it. It's like, if somebody says to you, I am really proud of you, or I really love you, or whatever, it's like, okay, well, there's really no room for, you know, um, although, for love there is because we receive love and we give it in entirely
Many
different
different
ways.
ways, right?
And we need to understand what that person, what your partner or who, the people in your life, how they need to receive it in order for you to give it so that it's fully received. Right? Like
Right.
that's really important to have that understanding. But for me, it's like I have always questioned myself in terms of, well, I think this is what they mean. And then I'll go down a rabbit hole of, well, is that really what you don't know? Blah, blah, I do all that. And instead of just saying, realizing that my first gut instinct was probably correct. They were showing me they were proud of me. They were showing me they cared or whatever that situation is instead of then questioning it because I
Well,
didn't hear the exact
uh,
words.
that's what it is, because that's what I do with myself. I end up down, you go down these rabbit
Mhm.
holes
Mhm.
and we start telling us a story.
Sure.
We start telling
Always.
ourselves these most elaborate and far-reaching stories,
Such great
you
plays,
know?
eh? Go on in
Oh,
our
yeah.
head.
Yeah. And that's where I have really worked on is more so, is this a story you're telling yourself, on that? So, yes, I do understand you knew it, but and it's also very nice to hear.
Hmm.
Like, that's a very nice to hear, without you having to guess that's what he meant.
Hmm. From a parent to a child, yes.
Yes.
That's certainly my belief that I think it's
Yeah.
really important that those words are actually said. No one is left guessing in the game
Yep.
that that's really how you feel.
That's a lot of
And
energy though, eh?
Hmm?
Well, I'm just
It,
going
it
like,
actually it actually doesn't have to be. I created the energy because I
yeah.
chose to go down an ambiguity,
right.
journey, right? Like I'm the
Hmm.
one that did that,
Right. And
not
that's
my
what I'm
dad.
saying is that, oh,
Yeah.
I feel my father was proud of me and a story.
Yeah. Hmm.
Right. And then,
But
But that's what happened. Oh, I know my dad was proud of me,
right.
but
but but
But,
here's how
but
you're interpreting this.
oh
Is
yeah.
that really what he meant? How do you know what he meant? Like, and it's just stupid, but that's what I would do. Instead of if he had said, I am really proud of you, kid, there'd be no questions in my mind about whether he was or he wasn't.
So I have the tale of two dads. Okay, I had a dad and a stepdad
Hmm.
for 90% of my life until they both passed within 3 weeks of each other.
Hmm.
And my dad was very forthcoming with I love you. But I only saw him every weekend and for 1 week out of the year. So maybe he was more conscience to say it.
Mhm.
I lived with my stepdad. My stepdad did not say those words to me probably until after my mother had passed. And he realized how he went through life not saying that. But I always knew, like in his actions,
Mhm.
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 but he never said the words. And it took him not until my mom passed that he realized what he missed out on, not saying it, you know?
But
But
he also grew
I,
up in a generation that,
that's what I was
men
just
were
going to
like,
say.
we don't show any
Don't say
emotion
that.
and
Yeah.
That's what I was going to
Yeah.
say. And that's, the same. And it's so funny because I think because Tracy, E, and I both had those in two different ways. I'm proud of you. I love you. Those are two prominent things that we both passed on to our children.
And just like your dad, my dad grew up without any emotional,
Mm-hmm.
that just wasn't shown in the family. It just wasn't something that you expressed.
No,
It was, considered weakness and,
yeah,
all sorts of things. So it was like
yep,
you don't say stuff like that. You don't convey that.
no, no, no. Oh, goodness. That
Mhm.
was so bad.
So
But yeah,
interesting, eh?
yeah.
So interesting how
It
we're shaped by our generation that was shaped by previous
mm,
generations, and it just keeps going back and back and back and back. It's like it's really interesting to see how
it
we
is.
are today and what it is that we've chosen to do with that information. Like,
yeah,
just like you,
Yep.
Michelle, he never said it, so I'm going to say it all the time, right? Same thing with
Right.
me. Like, I never got that, so I'm going to make sure there's no question that my kid knows that I'm proud of her.
right.
Um, and yeah, it's interesting what stays with us and what then becomes really important for us to pass on to our kiddos.
I know it is. It's just, but I don't think back in their day that that was even discussed. Feelings weren't discussed. You
Hmm.
were weak. We said that. Other words, which we won't say. Mhm. You know, so yeah,
So, okay, so I'm just pondering here. So you chose to, because he didn't say in the words, to perhaps go down a bit of a rabbit hole instead of just stopping and going, I'm proud. He's proud of me. So, and now you say you make sure you tell your child. So, what if there's still an area of where they're like, I'm not getting it from you the way I'd like to receive. So, are you teaching that as well? Is
Yes,
that
so I think it's worthwhile to have the conversation of,
this is how I'm expressing myself, but
yeah, is that
if
enough?
you
Or
need,
or do you need this in a different way? Do
hmm,
you need to receive this differently? And can I do that? Like, I mean, that might not be something I even know how to demonstrate or can provide, right? But
right.
yes, I really think that those things are really, really important. That's why that the book, the five love languages is just so amazing because we all receive things in such a different way. And how we give things is based on what it is that we want.
Hmm. Hmm.
Like you could be a
hmm,
very, touchy-feely person, and you want that. You want to be hugged, you want your hand held, you want that kind of physicality taking place as an expression of love. And yet your partner might be like complete opposite. He needs it verbally. He wants to hear it verbally. And so you're both at an impasse. It's like, well, why does he not do this? Like,
Yeah.
I don't get it. Like, doesn't
Why is
he
she
love
all
me?
over
What's
me?
the
Like, leave me
problem? Yeah,
alone.
like what? Yeah, like,
yeah,
geez, like like quit being so needy. Quit being so. Meanwhile, he just wants to hear I love you. Right? So, I mean, it really is important to know how people need to receive some of those really basic emotional things that fill us up. right?
Right.
That create
Right.
joy in our life and whatever. Because,
But if
you
we're
know, he's,
passing information on to the next generation, I think that's something we should really
yes.
not only, express ourselves, but really point out
Yeah.
Right.
that
Right.
that might be where the
Yeah, because you know what's really
hiccups are.
interesting is that they don't necessarily need it the way I'm giving it. Like I don't like my kiddo doesn't necessarily need me to have me say to her, "I'm proud of you."
Right.
She knows that because of all the other things that I express and demonstrate my pride and love for her. Like that's just, it's a
Right.
given. And so, but I still say it because it's like
Because you need to, yeah,
I needed that, so I'm gonna make sure I say that back to her. But yeah, I mean it's interesting conversations to have. It really and truly is because I mean these are the types of things that can create problems in relationships where they're not required at all. There's no
Right.
problem at all. It's just a matter of communicating what you need and what you're expecting.
that word again.
So, Tracy E., I have a question for you. You had said you could have asked him, "Are you proud of me?"
Hmm.
And if he said yes,
Hmm.
would you have walked away from that, or would your mind have gone down the rabbit hole? Because this is where mine would have gone. Well, why did I have to ask him? Did he say yes just because I asked him?
I don't know. I honestly don't know because I never did it.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I've since figured this all out, actually. I mean, that book was very helpful in me determining that kind of information for myself. Um, I don't know. I don't know. I may have gone down that rabbit hole of, well,
Only because
you
I've done
said
it.
it because I wanted you to say it, not
Yeah,
because you really, that's not
meant
because
it.
of, yeah.
Right.
But
Yeah.
I don't know because like I said, I think my there was evidence. There was definitely evidence. And
Right.
it is only because I chose at points in time to look at it very ambiguous to say, well, I'm interpreting that. That's not necessarily what it was meant to be or what
Right.
he was meaning by that. And I know that's just me creating a story. That's just me
Right.
just
Right.
doing that human thing, right? Like, yeah,
Right. Yeah. Telling the story. That's what you
yeah.
were doing. You were telling the story instead of
Just receiving it. I'm going,
just
hey.
receiving
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's where I think sometimes the problem is.
Hmm.
We just don't receive it either.
Just
No matter.
accept it as it's given,
Exactly.
and that's it.
Right.
No more
Right.
thinking, right? Just,
No more
oh, thank
thinking.
you.
Yeah. Sometimes too much overthinking.
Yeah.
Hmm.
And we end up going down these stories. But so today, even though you said you never heard those words, and just remind me and our viewers, you do know your dad was proud of you.
Oh, yeah, for sure. I do.
Okay.
Yeah, I
Okay.
do. Very much so. Very much so. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
So
And I know that
viewer,
because he told
go
other
ahead.
people.
Yeah, that's
Tell
the thing.
me.
He told other
I know.
people, but he didn't tell me exactly. He
Yeah,
told my
I think
sister, I'm so
that's
proud of your sister. Like, she's amazing. I was like, God, Dad, like you could have just said that to me. That would have been
I
awesome. Yeah.
know, but they sometimes don't understand. I don't
No,
think
they
people
don't. Of course
understand
not.
the emotions.
Of
No,
course not. Of course not.
no.
And I am 100% confident that if my dad thought for one instant that that is what I needed, he would have given it to me.
Mm,
Yeah,
yeah.
He wouldn't have withheld that. He would
right,
have told me. Yeah.
right. Okay, viewer, what about you? Are there times where you need something? Would you ask for it in reference to as what Tracy and we've been talking about? Or are you also very cognizant on when you're giving that information out? Let us know in the comments. Make sure you share this with somebody who you feel could benefit from this. Hit that like button and notifications so you know when our next episode will be out. Until next time.
Thanks for watching, and we hope to see you as a regular member of our community.